I say it's about high time when we had a nice feast together. Let's have some, Mikados, if I pronounced it correctly. Damn it, this is a problem when you wear a mask. You can't seem to eat things. Wait a second. That's not today's video. What am I doing with my life? Okay, I think I got a better script in my head. Hello, it is I, Beyond Hero, back with another video. Last time in my top 5 underrated Skylanders, it seems to have been quite a popular video, I must say. So this encourages me even more to make my top 5 overrated Skylanders. Skylanders that I think everyone likes, but Skylanders I feel they're not so great as most people say they are. Keep in mind that this list is 100% my very own opinion, and if one of your favorite Skylanders is on this list, please don't be mad. I will always respect your opinion. And with that, let's get on to the video. Unfortunately, I cannot use Drobot's Giants commercial to explain why Drobot is overrated due to copyright claims, so therefore, that's why I'm only showing you his figure to explain why Drobot is overrated. Now, just to clarify things up, Drobot is still in my top 20, and in fact still in my top 10. It's just my main problem is that his primary attack is so overpowered that it just clearly outranges all the other 2 attacks that he has to offer, and thus he becomes a one-trick pony. Most of the community love him because his primary attack is so overpowered, but if Activision improved his second ability by a lot, then Drobot would for sure wouldn't have been on this top 5 list. But don't worry, I still love Drobot though. Looking at Bash as a whole, he's a fine Skylander, but when his moveset comes into play, that's when my problems begin for me. His primary attack is awesome, not gonna lie, but his secondary attack is only great for maneuverability and to get away from an enemy that you don't want to face for some reason. And his tertiary attack is only good for close range. I quite like Bash, but it's not one of the best Skylanders in my opinion, and I feel his moveset could do with a lot of improving, so that's why he's at number 4. While Shroomboom managed to get off my bad list in last shot, that doesn't mean that Shroomboom is still one of my favorites. His primary attack, while doing good amount of damage, it takes a while to get used to, at least from the time when I played Shroomboom. His secondary attack is probably the best move that he has to offer, being able to defend himself, but his tertiary attack is probably my least favorite move of Shroomboom. It's only really effective when an enemy is staying stationary while fighting. He only really gets better when he gets upgraded, like Astro Blast, but unlike Astro Blast, who actually becomes a force of nature, Shroomboom is still just average, and that's why I place him here. I've got my eye on you. One of the main reasons why Eyeball was so disappointing to me was because of how the community adores this guy, and while his design is great, that's all really Eyeball has to offer. His primary attack is Haymaker Punches, that is, does mediocre amounts of damage. His secondary attack is probably the only new standpoint of gameplay Eyeball is offering, being able to detach his eye and then shoot lasers around, which is fun, but his tertiary attack? His tertiary attack has got to be the worst one, because all he does is he summons little eye fellas from the ground, and while they're cute, they don't seem to pack a punch. Sorry Eyeball, still not my favorite. Everywhere I go, I always find positive reception of Flarewolf, but I don't really see the appeal in him. He may have creative attacks, but that's all he's really going for in my opinion. His design is kind of weird, And his personality is kind of generic, being a crazy gunman guy, similar to Trigger Happy. And because of how overpowered all the senseis are in Skylanders Imaginators, he gets tedious for me after a while, and then instead I feel like pulling out Sook, who may have a simpler moveset than him, but at least he does the basics well. By absolutely no means do I think Flarewolf is a bad Skylander, I just feel that he's too overpowered for his own good, and that's his main downside for me. And so, this marks the end of my top 5 overrated Skylanders. What are your top 5 overrated Skylanders? I'm open to any opinions. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.